And we are live. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Vino Vent. I want to make sure that you can hear. Okay, we should be good to go. Happy Sunday. Hi, everybody. Sorry, we are like I'm going to say 3 minutes late tonight. I apologize. Sunday night, getting the kids in bed. You know how it goes. Stopna said, all good here, Thomas. Okay, good. You forgive us then. How's everybody doing? Okay, so it is Vino Vent, where we sip on some vino. PJ, are you doing vino tonight?
I am not doing vino, but I am doing water.
We'll tell you why he's not doing vino tonight in just a little bit. But we are going live on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and Facebook. So why don't we start by saying hi to everybody? So hello, Tina and MJ and Devontae and Jason and Sean and Thomas and Sopna and Clayton and Clinton and Kyle and the other PJ and Glenn the gay guy and Lane and Aranda and James and Jim and Evie and Derek and Dylan and Tom and Larry and Errol and Kyle. Everyone's here. Hi, Elizabeth. Hi, Nick. Drew, Connor, Noah. Okay, so gang's all here. Hi, Ryan.
Welcome.
Yes, welcome. Why don't we go ahead and cheers? So whether you are drinking wine, water, Dr. Pepper, Diet Pepsi, whiskey, tea, coffee, what else? Shirley Temples. Cheers. Oh, we didn't even clink. Oh, cheers. We made it through another week.
Hey, Kenny and Murray over on Facebook. And Murray says hello from Ontario, Canada.
Wow, we've always wanted to go to Canada. Hi, Anthony over on Instagram. Yeah, so we have, hi, Jed. We have a lot to talk about this week. First of all, Tristan was already coming in with the zingers. He said, PJ's giving high school bully. I love it.
Gay high school bully.
Oh, gay high school bully. I didn't see that. Okay, yes, gay high school bully. Gregory wants to know if you're feeling better.
Yes, I would say I'm probably almost 100% again. It was luckily just kind of a short sickness. I was feeling the worst last Sunday and Monday, and then slowly got better. PJ, where did your blonde hair go? That was a wig, but you might see it again on Halloween. We are doing a different costume for Halloween that we're really excited about. We've been putting it together for the last 2 weeks, and we're so excited.
It's been, but we've had the idea for months, and we've been really excited about it. And to see it all come together at the last minute, we've been ordering things off Amazon. We've been using things we already have. Excuse me. Yeah, so Noah asked what kind of wine we're drinking. So I'm drinking a Chardonnay. What is everyone drinking tonight? If you're drinking wine, what are you drinking?
And then we have Ramiro from Venezuela.
Wow.
And How's the House Holiday Home?
Ricardo from Italy.
So Holiday House is coming along very nicely. We're going to be, we were actually there today working on it because we are doing a partnership with Lumber Liquidators, and we are finally about to do the final reveal for them. So we shot that today. We'll be editing that tomorrow. It'll probably go live in a week or so.
Yeah.
And it looks so good. We're so happy with it.
It does look so good. We have worked with Lumber Liquidators or LL Flooring for the past 2 years, and we love them. They've been so great. They've been so fun to work with. We use their flooring in our beach house. We used it in Getaway House, which was another house we renovated last year. So they're just the best. They have the best flooring, the best customer service, and we love them.
Sopna over on YouTube asked what time our Halloween party starts. I would imagine that people will start getting here around 4.
That's what I was going to say.
4 o'clock. Our kids get out of school at 3:30, and it'll be an all-day thing for us preparing for it because we're going to have probably I feel like this year is going to be a big year. I think we'll probably have 30 to 40 people pop in. They probably won't stay the whole time, but all together, it'll be from like 4 p.m. to maybe 9 p.m. at the latest. It's a school night, so
that's the hard part.
Yeah.
Bless you. Someone said, ask what we're drinking. So I'm drinking a Chardonnay tonight.
Now I'm having water. Hey, Shayna from Knoxville. I'm doing good.
Hi.
Hope you're doing well yourself.
Someone on here asked, okay, so Kara Combs over on YouTube said, Thomas, how much vino had you had when you were growling at the cat? So I'm going to be 100% honest. I was sober whenever I was doing that. I only had 2 glasses of wine last night, and it had been like 2 or 3 hours since I had my last one. So I was actually good, but I don't know. I just saw him and he was looking so funny and he was like ready to pounce on me, and something came over me that I just had to growl at him.
Yeah, that was funny.
I can be funny sometimes. I tell people that. I'm like, guys, I can be silly. I can be funny. I know it's mostly PJ, but sometimes it's me.
Zachary said, when did you get into real estate? I'm 22 and I'm about to get into my first property. So I was also 22 when I bought my first house. So I was 22, and then you
I've always been like real estate adjacent.
Yeah.
Real estate by way of PJ.
The first time Thomas bought a house was 2015, and you were how old?
So I would have been 24. No, wait. Yeah, 24, 25, 24. Okay, William, guys, he broke the ice. William Hunt over on Instagram said, what's your favorite vault track from 1989? Are we ready to talk about 1989 yet? Because that was on the agenda. We were going to talk about Brittany's memoir.
Zachary said, was it a flip or a long-term rental?
Okay.
So when I bought that, I fixed it up over a year, and then I lived in it for a year, and then I rented it, and I bought another house and did the same thing. So it turned into a long-term rental. I kept that house. I bought it in 2008 and I sold it in 2021.
Which one?
The little house, the first house.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you, John. Sure. Okay. Why don't you jump into Taylor? Because I know you have a lot to say.
I have a lot to say. So as a backstory, love 1989. Once upon a time, it was my favorite album. I'm sure it was probably everyone's favorite album of Taylor's at some point in their lives. I love 1989. We both have been looking forward to its release.
Thank you, Gabe, over on TikTok.
Yes, Gabe, that is so sweet. Thank you. And when she announced it, we were so excited. And then she announced that from the vault tracks were her favorite ones that she's ever done. She can't believe she left them off the original album. I have to say, I agree with her. They are the best from the vault tracks that she's released so far. And that is including like Message in a Bottle and Forever Winter from Red and Run, I think, with Ed Sheeran. Like Reds from the vault tracks were my absolute favorite. Now, Speak Now, those were good too. Remember Castles Crumbling? Mm-hmm. What was your favorite from Speak Now, from the vault tracks?
Probably... what's the other? Castles Crumbling, and then the other one is what?
Electric Touch. Your electric touch.
What's the other one?
When Emma Falls in Love. Timeless. Oh no, you liked I Can See You.
Yeah.
That was your favorite.
Yeah.
Well, excuse me. My favorite from the vault track is Suburban Legends or Is It Over Now? Those are my 2 favorite. I can't even describe how much I love those 2 songs. And what is yours? I know yours, but
on what?
Your favorite vault tracks from 1989 Taylor's version.
Right now it's Slut.
Yeah, you love Slut.
But somebody said one that I like on Instagram. What is it? Suburban Legends. I like that one a lot.
Yeah.
And then I honestly like them all.
They're all so good. I will say, Is It Over Now? When she's like, can we fast forward to 300 takeout coffees later? Like that beat is so good, the rhythm. But is anyone else kind of like, are you bored? Jimmy said, wink if you're bored.
I'm not bored. You could talk about it.
I know, guys. I need to keep this like a minute and under. Okay, so is anyone else thinking that all of the vault tracks are kind of sounding, or like you can't really tell, you can't really distinguish one from another? And maybe it's because I haven't listened to all of them so much yet. Like I've listened to them a bunch, but like I haven't listened to them enough to distinguish them. They're all great. However, I'm like, wait, is it over now, or is this Now That We Don't Talk, or is this Suburban Legends, or is this Slut? I love them all. They're all so great.
Somebody else on YouTube brought up another topic. It's a sad topic, and it's the fact that Matthew Perry passed away.
Oh, that was awful.
He was on the cast of Friends. I love that show. I've watched every episode of Friends.
Yeah.
It was such a 90s like iconic moment that was just so huge, and it's really sad. Apparently, he had drowned in his hot tub that was at his house.
Mm-hmm.
So that's really sad news.
It is really sad. Heartbreaking.
Mm-hmm.
We were at the Halloween party last night whenever we found out, and I like literally gasped.
I thought it was fake at first, but I hate that. I feel like his life, probably during the show, but for sure after the show, was kind of riddled with addiction. He had a lot of issues with addiction, and that I hate that he had such a struggle with that.
Yeah.
And then somebody else brought up Brittany's book, which you are reading and reading it to me a little.
Yeah. I'm like giving PJ the Cliff's Notes. Real quick, someone asked the last time that we use this mortar and pestle, and the last time we used the pot filler. Use the pot filler today. Use the mortar and pestle yesterday.
Yeah, I fill my water bottle up with it because it is the water comes out so fast.
Yeah.
So I always use it.
Yeah, we use those all the time. Like that. I feel like there's rarely something in our house that we don't use all the time.
Yeah.
Like every appliance we use quite a bit. Otherwise, we'll get rid of it. We use this so much. It's so handy. Okay, so we will circle back to 1989 probably later on in the chat. We still have 40 minutes. So
what? Also, if you did not see, we were talking about we went to the Halloween party yesterday. We dressed up. We threw those costumes together yesterday, and most of the things that we used for them we had at our house.
Yeah.
I was Ken and Thomas was Dracula, and we posted those photos today. I don't know. Did we post on Facebook?
Mm-hmm.
And did we post on YouTube?
Mm-hmm. 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 Okay. No, we didn't post on YouTube.
Okay, we'll post on YouTube later.
TikTok and
Instagram. On the what is the board?
Community?
The community board. We'll post, but we posted on TikTok and on Instagram. It was a fun, cute little party. It was my cousin, and it was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun. As like some background, we used to go to his cousin used to have parties all the time. It was like Halloween parties, Christmas parties. Like we went to Thanksgiving. So we were always at our house, and excuse me, there were always parties. And like, that was whenever we first got together. Actually, like the first like 2 months we were together, we went to her wedding, which was at her house in her ginormous backyard because they live on acreage. And it was amazing. And like, I don't know, it was just really fun. And so we love Lauren, and we always have so much fun with her. We're so incredibly close to her, and we adore her and her family and her sweet girls. And so it was just a lot of fun last night. We always have fun with her. We could literally be doing nothing and we'd have fun.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so sorry, we're reading some of the comments.
Oh, this one.
Yeah. Someone on Instagram, I guess Jace, said, "I wish I knew you guys were in Cleveland. I went to Lee and loved it, but it also killed a piece of me. You guys are such an inspiration. Love you."
Yeah. That would have to be tough. I know.
I can imagine that.
So Lee University is a private Christian college in our town. And when you go to Lee, they make you sign this document, and it states a lot of things as far as like the rules that you have to follow while you go to Lee. And one of them is that you cannot be gay, basically. So I can only imagine that would have been a hard college life.
Yeah. Hello, Matthew, over on Instagram. Okay, so Brittany's novel. So The Woman in Me. Excuse me. Oh, wait. Another Lee University alum. Oh. Thanks, Blake. Is it Blakely. Um, we have, I've been reading Brittany's novel, The Woman in Me. It's really good. I love how honestly she writes. Like she writes like she's talking to you, which I really appreciate because I was telling PJ like the other day, I was telling him it's actually refreshing to read a book written in the style that she writes, which is literally off the cuff. It sounds like someone recorded her talking and then just wrote it. I reportedly she did have a ghostwriter help her with this, but it was refreshing in the style that she writes because I'm like, not everything has to be a gorgeous prose or like written so poetically. And it's refreshing to see a memoir or a book written in the style. But anyways, the Revelations. So guys, if you have not read this book, you need to, just for the revelations. It's heartbreaking. I'm just going to say it. Now, obviously we're only getting one side, like we're getting her account only, but like the things that happened with her and Justin, sad. Like he reportedly cheated on her multiple times with many different women. And
Hi, Mia.
She was so heartbroken when they broke up. She was like depressed. She was still on tour, so she had to perform. She did the Diane Sawyer interview. She did not want to do it. Her family was very controlling because she was basically financially supporting them. So yeah, it's just a really sad book, but I think it's very fascinating, especially for people, two guys who were like obsessed with Britney Spears back in the day. If you can look at our Substack, our newsletter, pjandthomas.substack.com, and you can see a photo that I posted 2 days ago of me standing outside of Britney Spears's Louisiana estate whenever I was 9.
Hey, Chandler.
And yeah, I literally was in front of her gates going like this. And I have this like these thick, chunky highlights because it was 2000.
Fun fact, I actually met Britney Spears 2 different times.
Did you see that?
Oh, hey, Mom.
Your mom said that.
Yeah. So I met her when I was 13, like shortly after I cut my fingers off. And I got to go backstage and she signed, did an autograph and we took pictures. And then I met her when she was opening for NSYNC once as well.
Mm-hmm.
Chandler asked about paint colors because she needs help or advice on paint colors. Some of our favorite paint colors right now would be Dover White,
Mm-hmm.
White Dove.
Mm-hmm. For the white, yeah.
Accessible Beige is a color that we just used.
Yes.
Tricorn Black.
Mm-hmm.
Jasper is a dark moody green.
Mm-hmm.
What is the one that we use?
Vintage Vogue.
Vintage Vogue
is a green. It's a very deep, dark, rich green. It's gorgeous.
A very neutral color that we used in our house is Urban Putty.
Mm-hmm.
It's like if you don't want to have to make a decision and you just want to paint everything that color, that's what we did.
It looks good with everything.
And we have slowly started painting all the rooms that we painted that color.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. What was the orange that we painted? The rustic orange. I can't think of that color.
Well, I had nothing to do with that, and I don't know.
Yeah. The room you're in right now looks taupe.
So it is actually Tricorn Black.
Black.
This is White Dove, the white color, and then this is Tricorn Black.
Yeah. Oh, neat.
Hello from New Zealand, 1:26 p.m. Monday afternoon. That is so neat. Hey, Jason.
Wow.
Welcome to Vino Vent.
Yeah, time is so tricky.
And
time is wild. Someone said it looks yellow. Maybe they mean our cabinets. Maybe our cabinets look yellow.
The lights that we have are very yellow.
They're very warm. I would say warm.
Yeah.
I like warm lights. I like warm, like Edison bulbs. I love, which they're not great for the environment, but I love warm lights.
Ashley asked, any tips for embracing who you are? I'm feeling stuck.
That's hard. So that is something that I've actually been thinking so much about lately. I feel like age is such a factor in that. I really do. because depending on, I don't know how old you are, but I remember being in my early 20s and feeling like I didn't know who I was, or in my teens and feeling that same way too. And, a lot of people, they carry that with them for many years. I will say, as I'm coming into my 30s, I'm 32 right now, and I've never felt more like myself, and I've never like understood myself as much as I do now. Do you feel that way too in your 30s?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like there's such a time of discovery in your teenage years and in your 20s. And then as you start to get older, certain things just fall away. Or you start to realize certain things about yourself that you're like, this is, that was PJ's phone case. This is just who I am. And like, there's no changing it. And I just have to accept myself, and hopefully other people accept me, because I'm not going to change. And so how do you feel about that?
I would say I feel like when you're younger and you're like discovering who you are and becoming the person that you're going to be,
Yeah.
I feel like you might feel lost at times. One thing that really helped me was surrounding myself with people that were like-minded people, and that can also sometimes be challenging, like meeting people that share the similar hobbies as you. We're all on our like social media so much that we've lost a lot of like face-to-face interaction, which I think kind of also is harmful.
Yeah.
So maybe like trying to get out and meeting people
In real life
who are doing some of the hobbies that you may like doing.
Yeah.
And then I think it's already went away, but Christian asked if I studied psychology. I did. Thank you for the heart.
You did.
I did study psychology. I went to school and I got a degree in construction management, but then I went back to school and got a 4-year degree in psychology.
Happy early birthday, Dylan. Dylan King turns 30 in 4 days. Dylan, you're going to love your 30s. Oh my gosh.
Casey asked how we sit like that because his legs go numb when he sits like that.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm in a lot of pain. I should have rolled my back before we started this. I've been deep cleaning the house. I was doing that right up until we started going live, and I'm hurting from moving around.
Yeah, these chairs are not comfortable. You would think that after like 4 or 5 years of doing this that we would get comfortable chairs. We haven't yet. Hold on.
What's it like being gay dads? Do y'all get judged?
Oh, that's a good question.
Yes, we do get judged sometimes. It's usually not to our face. It's usually we find out about it later, or because we are online and we post about our life online, we get a lot from that.
Mm-hmm.
We've really learned to just kind of let it roll off of our back, but it does happen. Overall, it's been enjoyable.
Hi, Tanya from Unique Kitchens and Bath. I think, but you know what? I think that goes back to like being comfortable, or like accepting yourself for who you are. So it's like, I don't know, whenever people say stuff about being gay or like gay dads, I'm really in a place where it doesn't bother me. I feel fortunate for that because I know that's not always the case, but
Thank you, Aaron, over on TikTok.
I really, it just doesn't get under my skin. Like I think it would have in the past.
Good morning from Philippines over on Facebook. And Ricardo is obsessed with Ken doll and Barbie.
So Derek over on YouTube, Blast from the Past, he said, y'all used to do Vino and Vent. No, y'all used to do Vino and movie, cozy on the couch or comfy in bed. So during the pandemic in 2020, do you remember Pillow Talk?
Oh, yeah.
We did like a version. Yes. Like we did like a version of Vino and Vent in our bed, which feels like I don't think we do that now, and it was called Pillow Talk and we would go live and talk. So, yeah, but now we do Vino and Vent. We've been going live on YouTube for like 5 years now, for 4 or 5 years. I think 5 years. Yeah. Okay. So
any advice for turning 20?
I was just about to read that.
20 was fun. It was fun.
Mm-hmm.
I am like the last like couple of days, maybe even week or so, I've been really reflecting back on my 20s and like It was just a fun time. I had a fun job at that time that I had a lot of friends at, and I don't know, just enjoy it. I feel like
Mhm.
if my only advice would be like one day you're going to be in your 30s or your 40s and you're going to
Yes.
look back and you're going to reminisce about that. And your 20s are really a lot of fun. So just have fun. Don't overdo it.
Yeah. And like accept that.
I came out when I was 20. Yeah.
Oh, you did. That's right. That's right. You did. Um, I
Which
always,
was
what?
17 years ago.
Crazy to think about. You've come a long way. We all have. I think that when you're 20, you have to just like be 20. And what I mean by that is like, I remember being like early 20s and like feeling sad that I drove like, a car that would always fall apart, or like my job, I wasn't satisfied in it. And then I was going to school and working so much. And then like one day I was just like, this is what being like 20 is all about, is like, going through this and putting in the hard work and like living this life, because it's not always going to be what you like how it is then, and just cherish every moment of it is basically what I mean.
So Jackson over on TikTok asked any tips on or any tips of enjoying alcohol and family without being an addict. So I don't think that alcohol is for everyone.
Sorry.
Everyone is genetically different. Some people have more predispositions to become addicts, and if you ever, the problem is a lot of times people become an addict who become an addict don't see the signs or the problems of it. So I don't know. That's a hard one. I feel like if you're questioning that there's a chance that you could become an addict, you should probably get a second opinion from people who are close to you, like family and friends.
Mhm.
Maybe ask them if they maybe think that you drink too much or if you drink the right amount. Everybody who does drink at some point in their life probably overindulges.
Yeah.
But I do think that there are some people that genetically it's just not the right decision for you to drink.
Yeah.
So that one's kind of tricky because you really need to know. And then you have your family. If you have family members who are alcoholics or addicts, that would be another thing to weigh in.
Yeah, addiction runs in both of our families, so we could probably talk about that subject all day. Dash around the world over on TikTok said, "Have you ever lived in a house that was down to the studs?" I think every house almost.
Every house I've ever lived in
Yeah.
has been down to the studs at some point.
Yes. Not the white one.
True. I mean, I did take it down on the studs in the bathroom, but
Oh, yeah, that's true.
not really.
Okay, so then wait, I was about to talk. We talked about Brittany, we talked about Taylor. I feel like there were a couple of questions that I keep missing.
Come on, Barbie, let's go party.
Mhm. Good evening, Virginia, over on TikTok, and Leo. Okay, so Dustin Scott over on YouTube said, with
I want to go
what?
back to Lincoln too.
Okay. With the kids getting older, do they notice affection between the two of you? Gay dad here and my son for a bit seemed to question it, but then it became totally normal for him. So, yeah, they notice affection between us. I am very big on making sure the kids see affection between us, because I don't want them to grow up and not know how to give or receive affection. And they're sponges at this age, so they will soak up anything that we say or do. And so I'm really big on that. So, like, for example, and I learned this from Kristen. What is her name? She's married to Dax Shepard.
Christian.
She was in. She played
Yeah.
Anna, or Anna in Frozen. She said that. Oh, Kristen Bell. Yes, thank you. She said that at any time that her and her husband fight in front of the kids, or like if they see them fighting, they always make sure to show the kids, or like to make up in front of the kids, even if they've already made up like privately, they will do it again in front of their children so that their kids see them making up. And I feel like that is so important. That's like a conscious parent, and that's what we both want to be. So yeah, I'm very conscious of the kids seeing us show affection and emotion and forgiveness towards each other. All right, now you can read Lincoln's.
So Lincoln over on YouTube said, can you please give some advice on how to deal with homophobia and or bullies? I'm a gay sophomore in high school and it gets really hard sometimes.
Oh, I cannot. Lincoln, first of all, good. Like, I don't know your circumstances, but being out in high school does sound really hard. I can't imagine it. We both came out after high school. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure on that because we weren't out in high school. It's sad because you would think that in 2023 with social media and the internet, it's like you would think it is so much better. And I'm sure it's worlds better than when we were in high school, but it's like the truth is there's always going to be homophobia.
Mm-hmm.
No matter what. And it's like no matter where in the world you live in. So you could live in a really liberal state and you're still going to find like those, I'm just going to say it, the assholes who are going to be homophobic towards you. You could live in a conservative state and find the same thing. So,
hey Rick, thank you for that.
Oh, aloha, Rick.
My advice, Lincoln, would be it's hard to change people's mindsets who have that like bully thought process or like how they treat you, but you can surround yourself with friends who support you so that hopefully your high school period is like manageable and enjoyable. It should be enjoyable for you. So just try to surround yourself with your friends and maybe avoid situations where the bullies tend to be.
But also know, and this is hard, this is like it's easier said than done, that it will not last forever.
Yeah.
Like high school is 4 years. And I think about it, and back then it seems so long because you don't have other things taking up your time. But I mean, for us 4 years ago,
that was sweet. You should read that. It kind of goes along with what you were saying.
So someone else on Instagram said it gets better, Lincoln. Just stay strong. Life is more. Yes, life is more than the years at school, and just try to find as much positive people as you can. Exactly. It's like it is just 4 years, and
which at the time when you are in high school, that seems like forever.
And that's what I said.
I mean, 4 years of your life
different.
when you've only been around for 6 or 15 or 14 to 18 years is a big chunk of your life. So totally get it. But
we don't want to discount that time. It's super important.
It does get better. And when you look back on it, it's going to be like such a short period of your life.
Exactly. It is. It's 4 years. And I think about that with us. And it's like, we've had our children for only 4 years, but it seems like we've had them forever. So time is so tricky, especially when you're in high school.
Hello from the Philippines over on Instagram. And then also, Kylie said, do you ever think of adopting more kids in the future? So we've said in the last year or so that we feel like our family is complete. However, I don't know that maybe in 4 or 5 years that we might get the bug again to want to foster kids. So I don't think it's completely a no, but as of right now, we feel kind of complete. We like the ages that our kids are. Traveling has become easy now that they all navigate airports so good now. We kind of don't want to disrupt that. And so if we foster, we could travel, but when you foster, you can't really take kids with you, foster kids with you. And we don't really like leaving. When we had our foster placement of our kids, we didn't really travel much because we wanted to stay with them. So I don't know.
It would really have to be the right time, right place type of thing. But I will say, listen, we went to the, PJ's cousin's Halloween party last night. And we were talking to a friend and she was like, yeah, like basically her stepson, more or less. She's like, he's 16 now, but I remember the last time that I held him. And she was like, he was 6. You remember? And she was like, and I picked him up, and I didn't know it was going to be the last time that I carried him or held him. But she's like, we were walking across a bridge, and I remember that was the very last time I ever held him. And hearing her say that, I was like, oh my gosh, like when is the last time I'm going to hold our babies? And that got me thinking, like, should we? Like, I don't know if I'm ready to like not hold our kids anymore like that because they'll be too big. I mean, our oldest is 8, and he's very light, but like he's like getting tall and lanky, and he's almost too big to hold.
Longhorn, we are wearing our rings, but it's reverse on the screen for you. So
yeah. And I meant to point out as soon as this live started that we are both wearing black, and someone was like, you guys look like twins. And I wanted to get ahead of those comments. I realized that we look the exact same right now because we're both wearing black shirts. Our hair is a similar color. I know.
Thank you, Steve. That is very kind.
Antonio over on TikTok said, how do you split up responsibilities / chores in the house? Cooking, washing, cleaning, etc.
We never actually sat down and said, you do this, this, and this.
Yeah, there's no designation.
We've been together for 13 years now. And it kind of just naturally over time, we picked up things that we either liked doing or didn't think that the other one did as well. We both have, like, Thomas cannot stand the kitchen to be dirty. So he like tackles that.
Yeah. I clean the kitchen like 3 times a day.
Anytime it comes to like deep cleaning, that is me, or like purging stuff. That's also me. We're in a period of life right now that I am feeling stressed and overwhelmed.
Yeah.
And during those periods, I like to purge. And so we've been donating to get stuff out of the house. We've been donating things like clothes and furniture and just a bunch of random stuff. So
Philip on TikTok said, are you the angry cleaner? 100%. Why are you even hesitating on that?
I don't think I'm an angry cleaner. I feel like I'm a motivated cleaner. I love the feeling of throwing things away and getting rid of things.
Hi, Alice. Alice said, where's Alistair? He, thank God, is asleep right over there on the couch.
Is that on TikTok or
Instagram? All 3 of our fur babies are asleep. To you. But no, Philip said he's the angry cleaner. PJ, you were definitely the angry cleaner.
I don't feel like
you'll go through and be like, our house is disgusting. It's a wreck. Well, and I'm like, there's like 3 pairs of clothes on the floor. It's not that bad.
And no.
But my threshold is a lot. Like your threshold is very tiny with how much you can handle dirtiness.
So one thing is we went to my cousin's house, and as soon as I walked into her house, I was like, how is it that every time we
oh my God, I am so sorry. I just stepped on his toe.
But basically her house is always so clean and so organized. There's never anything out of place. There's nothing on the floor. Like in our house at all times, there are boxes in the corners and things underneath couches and things underneath dressers, and dressers are packed full of things and junk drawers, and it drives me nuts. But I wouldn't say that I get angry leading up to like needing it to be clean, but then when I actually am cleaning, I'm not. I wouldn't say that I'm an angry cleaner.
I would say you're an angry cleaner, but it's okay. The thing is, we're in such a, I don't know, we're in like a weird, unique position.
Murray, that's a good question. I'm going to come back to that.
With the stuff in our house, because we get stuff in the mail and it's just, we have to purge. And if we're not careful, it can get overwhelming, is all I'm saying.
One thing that I was not prepared for with kids is them coming into the house every day with so many things.
Yes.
Like people are always getting them things, and that's so sweet. Like family and friends, they're always coming home with something. And then when you add in like, they're also coming home with tons of things from school. Like last week, we got a notification that our middle son owed the school $13 because his library book was never returned.
Oh my God.
It's
yes.
things like that. Like
Yes.
there are just so many things at all
There
times
are.
coming into the house.
They will put on a shirt and I'm like, where did that shirt even come from? Do you ever do that? I'm like, what? Like, what?
Not clothing usually. So Murray over on Facebook said, "Do you have any pet peeves?" We do have pet peeves.
Oh yeah,
Lots
of them.
I would say the biggest one for me is Thomas does this throat clearing thing. He's done it on the live tonight. That for me is a big one, and I don't like hearing people eat.
But he will like voluntarily smack and eat his food.
Yeah,
that is what's it called? Double standard.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, what are your pet peeves for me?
Um.
You also don't like hearing me eat.
Well, yeah, I don't have, but
Your biggest one is when I drink anything.
Yeah,
that
PJ
really annoys you.
We'll drink something and it's like gulp, 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 and I'm like, you don't have to swallow like that because you just don't. Like there's no reason. But I will say I'm quieter about my pet peeves, and I will do things like I'll turn up the music while we eat so that I don't have to hear him. PJ will just like tell me flat out, and I would rather handle it on my own, if that makes sense. Hi, Sale, by the way. Love you and miss you. Sale, is your apartment really 650 square feet? It looks, based on like your like Instagram photos of it or what little you post, like it looks bigger than that. That's crazy. But yes, definitely have pet peeves. How can you not have pet peeves? Another pet peeve of mine is like hand washing. So I'm like,
Hello, David from New York City.
Hi, David. I don't think I'm OCD in the least, but hand washing is the closest I could probably come to OCD. So like when the kids get home from like playing on the playground or being at school or like out with like my mom or his mom or their aunt or literally anyone but us, the first thing I say is, all right, guys, go wash your hands, because I can like feel how sticky their hands are. And this is like so bad of me to say, but like even you, like after you go to the bathroom, I'll randomly be like, did you wash your hands? Which is so gross and controlling, but it's like, I don't know what it is. I just have a hand washing thing. Okay, there are a couple of questions on YouTube.
Sapna, he does. He just doesn't do it so much on. He does it. I would easily say that he does it 50 times or more a day.
But it's not like the thing that you like, I feel like you get confused with. It's not like a nervous or a tick. It's like I literally have, I'm going to say it. No, I'm going to say crap. I literally have crap in my throat that I'm clearing out. And you can hear it in my voice. You can hear my throat raspy, and then I'll clear it out, and then it's not raspy anymore.
It's the same thing. Like you could swallow and fix it.
No, I've done that. I've done that so many times, and it doesn't work. So hold on. Oh, shoot. Hold on. Someone on YouTube asked a couple questions. Where's sorry guys.
Austin, that is a good question. I'm gonna come back to it.
PJ, the other PJ said Thomas also does a lot on the lives. Oh my gosh, I'm not you guys calling me out too. I love it. And then Aranda says, do you miss Josie? We do.
Yes, definitely. So Austin over on Facebook said, hey guys, I've been with my partner for 4 years and have struggled with navigating the gay community as a couple. How have you guys found strong, reliable friendships with others in the community as a couple? My partner wants more friends we can relate with, but I'm too apprehensive with reintroducing myself into the nightlife scene. That's a great question. Yeah. So, and that's something that we also struggled with. I'd say probably back in like 2017. We didn't have any. Yes. At that point in our life, we didn't really have any gay friends. We didn't really have that many friends either. I don't. Yeah. Like, we just didn't relate to a lot of people that
like lived in our area.
Yeah. So we outsourced. We started like reaching out to people through social media. And because of that and doing that, we were able to make a couple of friends. We we actually like hung out with some people. It didn't really work out, and we
Mhm.
just kept doing it until we felt like we had a good friend base.
Yep.
And even now, like we don't have a huge like close friend circle, but
We have a tight knit circle,
yeah, I don't.
square circle that like we cherish. We
What is
love.
that saying?
Keep your friends close and your enemies closer.
Yes, that one.
So friends are gold, and some
Well,
are
no.
silver, and the others are gold. Make new
Quality
friends.
over quantity.
Oh yeah, that too. Kyle said over on YouTube, do you feel like you have a generation gap between you and other generations? I've always made it a point to understand and relate to younger people. No gaps at all. That's a great question. Yes, I definitely feel a gap between me and other like younger. But you know what?
I would say younger.
I've always felt a gap between me and even when I was like a teenager, I always felt a gap because like none of my friends loved watching like historical drama films or like musicals or like I was just always interested like the way I dressed and the things that I consumed, like the culture. It was always like older than what my peers were doing. And so now I feel like I'm finally at the age that I was whenever I was a teenager. And like I don't really relate to a lot of the trends or stories that I hear. But what about you?
I would just say the younger. I've always related to older people my entire life. Like when I was younger in my 20s, like all of my close friends were older, significantly older than me. And I always like got along and enjoyed talking to people who were older than me. Now that I am older, um, that gap with the younger generation is even more of like a thing for me.
I feel like you keep up with it though.
I
Like
keep
you know the trends.
I keep up with it, but I still don't. There's still like a gap there. And I would say I started realizing it more in the last probably 2 or 3 years, where I would like be out and about and I would see like younger, probably high school or early college kids. And I was like, that was like the first time I was like, oh, I don't, there's like a gap here that's not, I'm not picking up on. Like it's just they're different.
But do you like wish that you did, or are you like, I'm so glad I'm not like that age, or that I don't relate to them?
Yeah, I'm content, I think.
Same. I am too. And that's the thing. I'm like, I always think of like the Buffy the Vampire episode, Buffy the Vampire Slayer episode, the witch from the first season where the mom inhabits the daughter's body and goes back to high school because she misses high school so much. And I'm like, I want no part in that. I am so happy being 30 in my 30s.
Clint said my mental age was 71 at 22.
Oh, jeez.
Steve asked how old we are. I'm 37, and Thomas is 32.
32. I really have to pee, so you're gonna have to carry this for like a minute.
Okay. My mental age is older some days, and oh, just went away. Oh my goodness. And I feel younger than I am. So I have always felt younger, especially in the last, I'd say maybe in the last like 13 years, I have felt younger than the age that I was. I feel like now I'm slowly feeling my age, if not feeling my age, feeling older. And I don't love that. A lot of that is like my body. I've had back pain consistently for the last probably 5 years or so. And I feel like a lot of that has to do with age. And I don't like that part of it. But yeah, I don't know. Back and body, Gregory Allen over on TikTok said. 35 mentally is a shift. Yeah. Yeah, I would say I was, yeah, after 35, because my like 30 was good, up to 35 was good. But yeah, when you start feeling all of the sore muscles and you're not able to do what you once were, it's kind of a sad moment in getting older. I saw something today on TikTok, and the quote was somebody talking, and they said that 95% of people, or maybe it was 95% of men, but 95% of people or men over the age of 30 will no longer sprint again in their lifetime.
What is it?
95% of people over the age of 30 won't sprint again in their lifetime. So you may jog or you may run. And then it went into talking about like how the older that you get, that you stop doing things like lifting heavy weights and sprinting. And it was talking about like not getting cold. You basically are like, the older you get, you have the convenience of being able to do things that are comfortable. And that person was saying that he felt like part of the reason why people age is because they stop doing those activities like sprinting and being hot because you're exercising, or I don't know.
That's true, because like you're not forced to be in those situations anymore, like in gym class or something. So you don't do them as much. That is so true.
Sapna asked Thomas if you washed your hands. Did you? You didn't?
I also didn't flush. I didn't touch anything either. I will say, because I was trying to get in and out. I didn't touch anything. I didn't do any. I like literally just
the double standard. Thomas will be like, "Did you wash your hands?" And the kids will be like, "Yeah." And he goes, "Let me smell your hands."
Because I'm like, I don't think you did. But our soap is so scented that I'm like, it smells like they did. But they also don't wash them for very long. So, real quick, we're talking about aging. I remember being young. I remember being like 19. Like someone on TikTok said I'm 19.
Question. I'll come back to it.
I remember being 19 and thinking that 32-year-olds, which is the age that I am now, were so old, right? Like I remember 32, but then I also, because we've been thinking about aging a lot this month,
which is weird, and I don't know where it came from, and I hate that. I hate that it's a daily thing for me right now, but I'm working through it.
I think it's a very human emotion or like feeling.
Yeah.
Because we're only on this earth for so long, and it's like time and age and duration. Like, of course we think about that stuff because we know that our days are limited. And so whenever we start seeing a change physically and mentally and emotionally, like we have to take note of it. We have to talk about it.
Okay. So Kyle asked a good question.
Okay, do Kyle, and then we're going to go back to aging.
Kyle over on Facebook said, in some of your videos, you have talked about taking a 4-month break in the beginning of your relationship. How did you handle that? And did you talk during that 4 months? So we were together for 4 years, and then things were rocky that 4th year, and we kind of were in different places in life. And I'm 5 years older than Thomas. So I was kind of like in the mindset of, I just bought a house. In the back of my mind, I was like, I'm buying this house. I want to get engaged. I want to move in together. And Thomas was just not in that place at that time. And so we broke up, and we talked for most of
probably
that.
Like the majority of it.
Yeah. There was probably a month of the 4 months that we didn't talk at all.
If that.
But
yeah.
It was definitely difficult. It was a very emotional time in my life. I feel like I was very adamant about wanting to get back together, and I really pushed for that. And at the time, it really did seem like it was not going to happen. We both did start dating other people, and it was really rocky, and it was really messy, and it was definitely a learning experience. I'm glad that it happened for both of us because I think we needed it, but it was challenging. I feel like a lot of people do it. A lot of people,
it's so common,
don't get back together.
Yeah.
And find,
getting water. Yeah, it is so common how many people break up and then they decide to not get back together or like go their separate ways. And I don't know. It's like you think about how many missed opportunities there could have been.
Yes.
So back to aging.
Okay. And we're at 8:58
Oh
and
my
my
God,
back is really hurting.
oh my
So
gosh. Okay. Let's hurry. So I also feel like aging is so different nowadays than it was whenever we were growing up. And I've said this before because it's like you look at people in their 50s back whenever we were young, like the Betty Whites of it all and like the Golden Girls.
I also remember, I know where it stemmed from, why I started thinking about it. It was the Supermodels show that we
Oh
watched.
yeah, that was a
That's
great
what started it.
docu-series. If you guys haven't watched the Supermodels on Apple TV Plus, it's so good. They talk about aging a lot in it. But I feel like aging today is just not what it used to be. It's like you look at J Lo, who's like 53 or 54. She looks amazing. And it's like back then, people, I feel like they just
Thank
like
you, Selling Solutions. That's so sweet.
resign themselves to like, oh, I'm 40 or I'm 50. Like I'm old now. I'm going to wear like big glasses. And I don't know. It's just like, I look at photos. I looked at a photo of your mama tonight. You literally showed me a photo and she was maybe in her 50s and she looked like she was in her 70s. And it's like people back then just looked and dressed and acted
They didn't.
older,
Well, I don't necessarily think they looked. I think they just
carried themselves.
They maybe dressed the part. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like exactly. It's like they're playing a character almost, which like no fault to them. It was just like a sign of the times. But it's like nowadays you see 40, 50, and even 60-year-olds, and they
Thank you, Edwin.
are just carrying themselves differently. I don't know how to explain it, but I definitely think that people looked older back in the 80s and 90s and early aughts than they do now.
Okay, and then why don't we end on what we've been binging this week? We kind of talked on this on Substack on our newsletter. Thomas did a post about that.
Real quick, pjandthomas.substack.com. If you want to subscribe to our weekly newsletter, it goes out every single Friday.
The main show I want to talk about is Bodies on Netflix.
Oh so good.
I have not really been into a show in the last like month or so, and we watched the preview for that, and I immediately told Thomas like we're starting that. We're going to binge this in 3 days. I just know it. It's a really good show. There is a gay character in it. Love that.
Yes.
It has a good storyline, but if you have Netflix and you want a show recommendation, you should check that out because it's really good.
You should definitely check out Bodies. It's so good. It's a mystery. It's like kind of a thriller. It's dystopian. Excuse me. It's
Thank
giving
you, Edwin. That was sweet for subscribing.
Oh, wait. I just saw a compliment. Tristan said Thomas is a good writer. Thanks, Tristan. Thanks for reading whatever you're reading that I write. I appreciate you.
Okay, guys, my back hurts and I want to shower.
Oh, yes.
Thank you guys so much for joining us for Vino Vent tonight.
I know, this was so fun. This was
if
a really
you
fun
are
one.
new to Vino Vent, we come here every week at 8 o'clock on Sunday. We go live on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. And we share our daily life on all of our platforms.
And our blog, pjandthomas.com.
So thank you for taking time out of your week to come and spend it with us. I hope you guys have a great week and that you have a very happy Halloween. We're going to be
happy Halloween.
We're going to be posting. Cannot wait to show you guys what our costume is going to be. I think you're going to like it.
I think so too. It's one for the girls, so you're going to love it.
What does that mean? One for the girls.
Like for the gay community. It's like they're going to love it.
Yes. Okay. Bye, guys. We'll see you. Bye-bye.